Stream the meeting.
Cool. Very exciting.
Asia, nice to see you. Stream the meeting. Okay, so turn that down. That is now streaming.
Okay.
So I'm going to start. Seems like a good idea. Welcome everybody to this masterclass on heartfelt messaging. I am really excited to have, I feel emotional, to have guest speaker Steph DragonHeart Benedetto from the Awakened Business. And I'm going to let Steph introduce herself, but I just wanted to say my experience of Steph. We met through a business type of meeting. Steph was coordinating something, and so we had a chat through that. And basically, we were just like, I want to say fairies. We were just like these energies that came together and went, oh, let's play. What might that look like? And we had a couple of iterations of what that might have looked like. Some things didn't happen or whatever. And then finally this came. And I love it because it is a live demonstration of how it works. You meet someone, you have an idea, you think how you're going to make it happen, and it doesn't really happen. In the first instance, for instance, I wasn't feeling it. And Steph wrote to me and said, are we doing this thing? If you're not feeling it, then we don't have to do it. I thought, wow, how does she know this mythical creature? So I was dead impressed with that. Anyway, here we are, and we decided to experiment a little bit, offer this beautiful masterclass to my amazing community. Thank you so much for all being here. And see if some of Steph's community would like to come over and join us. And we do have one person here from there and maybe some more on the replay. So I'm really, really grateful that you're here, Steph. And it almost doesn't matter what you say. I know it's going to be amazing. But you also have a very powerful background, and I'd love for you to share whatever you want to share with this group about who you are, why you're here.
Okay. Cool. Thank you. Thank you so much, Mama J. This is a pleasure to be here. So I do have an extensive background in business and marketing, and I think it's relevant because I've been on a journey with business. I've been an entrepreneur for most of my adult life, which is over 20 something years now, and have fallen in love with it, have loved it ever since. Um, to me, business is a sacred vehicle of transformation in the world. It's a way we get to bring the change we wish to be. So I see it as an art and a service and an offering. But when I first got into business, I was very traditionally educated. And in fact, I discovered that I had a talent for copywriting and content creation. And so I used to spin copy, very, very hypey copy in the direct response style, like the best of them, until that didn't feel right anymore. Until I started wondering if there was a different way to do things. And it happened along with my own spiritual growth path, really, as a person. Um, so I got my chops in traditional internet marketing and how to learn online. And then I threw it all out and kind of started again. And now I'm at a place where I'm adding it back in service of the heart. And so that's why for me, this is called heartfelt messaging, because that's the way I want to put my message and marketing out in the world from my heart. And that's what I encourage my clients and my friends and my colleagues to do as well, because not only is it enough to actually create clients, it's what really makes the difference. and you can actually create impact with that message. So it sometimes looks a little funny, especially for me. This is not necessarily going to be your path, but yeah, I want to share a little story of how I wrote a story years ago that ended up getting me clients, and this story had nothing to do with business, and it had no connection to it didn't include some of the things I'm going to recommend for you, even the best practices of putting your message out there if you want to actually create clients with it, but it worked. And the reason I'm sharing this story is because it was totally from my heart, and it was done because I loved it, because I wanted to, because I was moved to, without an expectation of what might happen. And that story is called Tea with Demons. And it was inspired by, it's kind of a spiritual teaching story that was inspired by a few different other stories. And I'll read it to you. It's pretty short. So, Tea with Demons. My demons come to call each day. Fear slinks to the doorstop, seeps through the cracks in the walls. Hatred sets my curtains afire, while doubt chains my hands. Sorrow weighs me down with stones. Though I bar the windows and the doors, nothing keeps them out. I pray to the gods' positivity and willpower, force a smile upon my face and ignore them, hoping they will leave. The more I squirm and struggle, the more they gloat. My demons will not be denied. I think of all the things I've done to try and shut them out, how I have kept my world small and safe to avoid them. Don't climb mountains and you'll never fall off a cliff. Say your prayers each night to banish the devil from your dreams. No matter how I try, I cannot rid myself of them. I have become obsessed with building thicker walls and chanting louder, more reverent prayers, but nothing keeps them away. I resolve to watch them closer. I notice these demons ride upon thoughts like monstrous dragons. Joy and peace come riding too, on thoughts like butterflies and gorgeous sunsets. Thoughts slip into my consciousness, dispensing havoc or delight, then out again without my doing. Could it be my demons are thoughts, like any other? All I have tried has failed, so I wander my way into something new. Shame comes knocking at my door. The frame shakes, as do I. Gritting my teeth, I throw the door open wide. Come in, friend, I say. Shame oozes in and skulks to the corner. Hopelessness follows like a lost lamb. Welcome. I set cups of tea upon the table. Join me for a drink, my friends. The demons sidle up, grasp a cup, and filthy and feeble claws take a sip. They snarl and howl, but do not touch me. My demons stay a while and then they leave, ushering in a glorious wave of peace. I remain unscathed. More demon guests come to call, disgust, rage, loneliness, irritation. I bid them welcome, sit with them over tea. They stay for a while before moving on. The more I watch them come and go, the more I feel the ground upon which my house is built. It is solid. It holds me without requiring any effort on my behalf. I am safe, no matter the demons who visit. Now I throw open my windows and doors. Welcome, life. Come with all your joys and sorrows, for I am safe at home always. And this story, I shared it on my blog. I shared it on Facebook, which I was using at the time, and that's it. There was no reference to my business. There was no link to my website. And what happened was it actually got noticed, got read by a gentleman called Michael Neal. I was active in his community at the time. And without my knowing it, he read it on one of his webinars and a couple webinars. I wasn't even present. And suddenly I'm getting these messages from people about my story. And some of them joined my community, and a couple of them became my clients. And there was no intention behind that at all, but there was movement and there was heart. And when it comes to creating real impact and creating clients in your business, there are really three things that I see that help that happen with whatever it is you're creating, whatever message you're putting out in the world. And the first and most important one, if I could only pick one, it would be that speaking or creating from your heart, because it transcends everything else. And when you're moved to do something, it moves the universe too. That is life moving you. And so that gets the highest priority. And the good thing is that it's actually not hard to do it because you have a heart and you have something you're here to say. I know you do because you're here in Mama J's community, because you're one of those people who identifies as a change maker or a person who's making a positive difference in the world. So it's already there. All you have to do is not stop it. All you have to do is just not get in the way. And that's not so hard either, because all you have to do for that to happen is to notice that you're doing it and stop. So that's the first thing that's necessary if you really want to share a message that makes a difference in terms of touching people first and also moving them to get closer to you, to learn more from you, and maybe even become a client. The second thing is relevance. So, what do I mean by relevance? People pay attention to your message because it's relevant to them. It touches something that they're interested in. It addresses a problem they have. It speaks to something that's on their mind. Now, it's kind of interesting because I shared the story, which is nothing like what they teach us in business, right? Like, okay, what's the problem that's on top of mind? What's the benefit that someone's looking for, which is smart. That's a very smart way to make sure that what you're creating is relevant. But it was relevant because my people are interested in spiritual truth. They follow people like Michael Neal. It wasn't intentional relevant, but clearly it was, because they never would have reached out to me afterward if it hadn't been relevant to them and seeing a deeper truth about life. So relevance is the second thing. And the third thing is what's often called a call to action, like what to do next. So this, again, it's a funny example to give you, right? Because the story didn't have a call to action in it. But because they were moved and because I did have lots of other content out there which did have calls to action in it. It did have here's what you can do to work with me. Here's what I do and who I do it for. So they could follow it back and find it. So it's great to have it inside the content, but also it can work for you outside of it. So these are really the three pieces that allow you to actually create something that gets attention and also gets people to a next action by including these. And I'll give you some examples of this later on. But I think the most powerful thing, the most powerful experience I would wish for you here today is to have an experience of your own message coming through you.
That is so beautiful, Steph.
Oh,
Thank
thank you.
you. I wanted to add something if that's okay.
Mhm.
Um, it's so resonant with the people in this group because that's what we talk about. That's what I talk about with them is that when you just speak about what you love doing, for instance, or what's on your mind or what's on your heart, people hear you in a different way. When you try to market that, speak in a way that other people speak, or so on, they can't hear it, but people can hear the feeling. And yes, for sure, it's helpful to have exactly what you said, the resonance and the CTA, the call to action and all of that. But the real heart of it has to come from you, and everyone has a different message, and everyone has a person who's waiting to hear that message.
Yeah. And the way to get more comfortable and more clear about your message is to open your mouth and see what comes out. Get in touch with your heart and then open your mouth. Get in touch with your heart and then get out your pen or put your fingers on the keys and see what you end up creating. And that's the only way. You can't think your way to it. It comes in the moment. And there is an art to it, and there is a learning curve with it. Of course there is. And as you're in it, you will discover it. So the experience that I really would love to give you today is to have a chance to hear that, to hear the message on your heart. So I've asked Mama J if we can do a little breakout, and we can put people in groups of 2 or 3. How many people do we have? Oh, we have an even number. That's good. Okay, so we can do groups of 2. That'd be great. And what I want you to do is to think of a specific person who's on your heart. So this is someone that you'd love to help or serve or support in some way, someone specific. And then what I'll ask you to do in the breakout room is to share your wish for that person, your heartfelt wish for them. What do you wish they knew? What would you wish to give them if you could give them something? And just speak about that. And you'll have 4 minutes to speak about it. And the other person, I just want you to listen. You don't need to do anything or say anything. This is not a coaching thing. It's truly just witnessing. And notice what you feel. Notice whatever you notice. You might notice where they come alive. You might notice the energy that you feel from it. You might notice what you're curious about as you listen to them. So then you'll switch, and the other person will have a chance to do the same thing. So just share your heartfelt wish to that person. And so 4 minutes for one person. And then the other person has a chance to have about 2 minutes to reflect the energy that you've heard, to reflect what felt alive in that message to you. Again, you're not coaching, you're not trying to help anyone, just kind of reflecting and witnessing, like, wow, that was really moving, or I'm really curious about that. I'd love to hear more. You really lit up when you said that thing. So that's what I'd like you to do. So do you have questions about that? Or was I unclear about timing, Mama J? Because so 4 minutes to share and then 2 minutes to reflect and then switch.
Okay, I wasn't listening because I was setting up the rooms.
Okay. Well,
4
thank you
minutes.
for that. It was important. Does anyone else have questions before we go into the breakout room? Okay.
Nice. Okay, off you go. There was a extra person joined, so I made one of the groups 3.
Okay, cool.
Nice. What did you tell them to do? Because I was busy putting the rooms together and I couldn't hear a thing that you were saying. I'm
So
sorry.
what I asked them to do was, oh, Louise is not in the room. So does that mess up the
Oh,
counting, or maybe we need to shuffle people around? Are you available to go into a breakout room, Louise? Maybe we move the other person to that room.
yeah. Okay. How can you tell?
Because I was looking in the breakout room and
Oh,
I can see, yeah. Do you want me to do that? I can move Raha
yes.
to
Yes, to room 4.
room 4. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Move to room 4. Okay. So let me actually,
Brilliant.
let's see here. I'm gonna time this now because I wasn't timing. We'll give them a minute to settle in anyway. So what I asked them to do is to take a few minutes to share. Think of this one specific person who they'd love to help or support in some way, and then share their message in their heart, the wish they have for them, the wish they have that would make the biggest difference. And the other person just listens. And then when they're done sharing, they have a chance to reflect.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Nice.
And then the other person does, so they can actually hear their own message, like what's resonating with people and what's alive and what they notice.
Yeah.
Um, so now they have 3 people in room 4.
Yeah. So, yeah, because Louise joined, but
Do you want me to jump in there and just help them out?
Yeah. Do you want to?
Let
Yeah.
me see if I can do that. Hold on. I can join and then I'll come back out. All right.
Okay. And just for you guys on the replay, so one of you can do this exercise, of course, in your own time, and you can let us know what your thoughts are. As we're doing the replay and we're live streaming, I thought I'd let them know. I thought I'd give them something to think about. You're on mute. Were they okay in there?
I popped in and then popped out, but they were already talking, so I think they figured it out. I don't know what happened. I actually got kicked out.
Oh,
It was like, no, you're not allowed. I was like, okay.
oh,
Apparently they have it covered. But I have a lot of, I think people are amazingly resilient and they can absolutely figure something out for themselves. So,
yeah, that is so true. I had set the timer as well, so they might close after 4, and we can always send them back again. Um, if we if
what
we want.
is the time that's set?
So I heard you say set the time for 4 minutes, so I actually set it for that.
Oh, yeah, the whole time is probably more like 12 to get
Yeah,
the
and
whole
I
experience.
can't
So,
change that now. So
okay.
when it
No
comes up,
worries.
I might be able to change it when it comes up.
Okay.
So we'll see what happens. You can see the breakout rooms as well, can't you?
I can if I was looking at them. So, yeah.
How lovely. Keep breakout rooms open. There we go.
Okay. Yep. Cool.
Nice. Nice. We did it. Perfect.
Okay. hmm So does this mean that this part is live stream on
This part is
YouTube?
live stream, so we have to say something.
Okay, let's talk about this. Well, let's see. Mama J, what is the message on your heart? What's your biggest wish for
Mm.
people? Would love to hear that.
Yeah. In general, for people, my wish is to just activate people. I've met a lot of amazing transformational coaches, change makers, people with such big hearts that want to create change in the world but feel stuck.
Mm,
And my wish is to activate them. And I imagine that if we could activate everyone who really felt like they wanted, and it doesn't have to be doing a big thing, it doesn't even have to be, it doesn't have to be anything big. It can be whatever's in their heart. If we could activate everyone who has that, the world would be different. The people who are struggling would know where to go because there would be people everywhere sharing. Um, the the people who I've worked with in the past who come out of prison would know where they could go for support or for a top up, as they used to say when we used to run classes, and maybe wouldn't get into trouble again. The people who have really struggled with mental health issues would know where they could go and feel at home and come home to themselves. And that's my biggest wish is that, and there's so many around the world.
mm. There's something about when you speak to that, activating them. That word for you is like magical.
Yeah,
It says like awakening, enlivening, like they just come online
yeah,
with whatever it is they're here to do. It's
yeah.
really lovely.
Because I see it that they have all the ingredients. Someone gave me this visual, like slime, slime. I know it
Yeah.
doesn't sound very nice,
Slime.
but
I'm like, yes, I know slime.
yeah. Well, slime has an active ingredient, and when it gets less sticky, you add more activator
Hmm.
to make it work. And the same with bread or anything that has to be activated. So I see that they have all the ingredients, they have everything they need. They just haven't had the activating agent yet. And that can be just the pressing of the button. Like,
Mm.
yes, you, yes, you, yes, you.
Hmm. That's really cool.
But who I'd love to speak to would be Stephen Bartlett.
Stephen Bartlett.
He
I don't
is the
think I know who that
host,
is.
is the host of the podcast called Diary of a CEO.
Oh,
I'd like him to interview me.
oh. Hold on just a second. I'm asking them to switch partners if you haven't already.
No, you're very good at this, aren't you?
Okay. And then we should give them a second. Yeah, I do a lot of breakout rooms, so, and I've gotten a little fairly adept at it. I usually
Oh,
don't
good
have
to
somebody
know.
helping me. So I'm sorry, Stephen Bartlett on his podcast to have him So tell me more about that. You never know. This is going out into the
Well,
universe. It could
it's
happen.
true. It's true. So he is the host of a podcast called Diary of a CEO, and he interviews extraordinary people. And
So of course you qualify immediately.
well, so
I'm not kidding. I meant that.
my pitch would be I may not seem extraordinary, like a celebrity but I am pretty extraordinary. And I have really my journey from adversity to thriving is incredible and totally resonant with lots of other people.
Mhm.
I have recognized my power as a sovereign, as a woman, as a person in the world that can make a difference. And I've been and made those differences. I've worked in prisons and worked with homeless people. And now well, I've always been an entrepreneur, I guess, but now I'm building a new business and I'm an author and I'm a speaker and I've spoken around the world. And somebody recently said to me, "Are you famous in Denmark?" And I was like, well, I'm sort of a little bit famous in my community, like which happens to be global.
There you go.
So then I thought I must be extraordinary. So he could interview me, right?
Absolutely. I don't see why not. So if someone is listening or watching this replay and you have a connection to Stephen Bartlett and the podcast, Diary of a CEO, maybe make an introduction, reach out to Mama J. Why not? This
Let's
is
go.
how miracles and magic happen, right? Like we never
Right.
really know.
Like your letter.
Yes, there was no intention behind that whatsoever. Not like that. The intention was simply express something and share it. That's
Yeah.
it. It was so very alive. It really
Amazing.
was.
Amazing. And I love that. And I really see that when I started this business, when I started my prison work, I just spoke to people about what I was doing. I didn't really, I mean, later on you start to become adept and
Hmm.
I think you're absolutely right. There needs to be a shape and say things in a way that people can hear you. And there's some skills and things around that, honing the message. But the raw message is the key.
Hmm.
And, like just telling people when I started doing what I'm doing now, I was just ringing people up and saying, oh, I'm going to do this new thing and it's really amazing. And I'm going to activate everyone in the world. And people were caught by that. Uh,
Hmm.
And people gave me donations. Here's here's some money, some seed money, they said. It wasn't for that. I got £10,000 in
What?
donation.
Wow.
Just from talking to people and saying, I'm so excited, I'm going to do this thing. I wasn't expecting for money and I wasn't asking for money.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing. There's magic.
When you are up to something, people can feel it and
Yeah,
they want to be a part of it. Not all people all the time, but the ones who resonate with it do. And those are the ones we're looking for. Those are the ones we want to connect with. That
Yeah.
is amazing. Actually, someone I know who found you said that they joined your membership and they paid you, and they're like, I'm not even sure. I'm just doing the last 2 minutes here, probably the last 2 minutes. All right, last 2 minutes. Okay, um, and said, I don't even know exactly what I bought, and it was just so funny because sometimes they're so following their heart and something that says yes that it doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
Like and that's why I'd say like you can't fake the heart part. You can put in a call to action, you can be relevant, you can do that very logically, but you cannot fake something that's heartfelt, and we can feel when it's missing.
Yeah.
And for those of us who really want to make a difference, and it's a transformational impact, not just something we're selling. It is something we're selling, but it has a transformational intention behind it. The
Yeah.
heart is, I think, necessary. So,
Yes. Yes. Very much so.
so we're almost time to bring them back. Let's give them a little bit longer. But do you have a time on your breakout rooms? Like, does it just give them 10 seconds after we close, or
I
do you
think
know?
so. It does something.
Okay.
I'll look on settings. Um, Countdown after closing break room is 30 seconds set.
Okay. So you can bring them. You can close the rooms now, and we'll bring them back.
And some will come immediately and some will.
Yeah. They're having good conversation. I take it as a good sign when it takes them a moment to come back.
Yeah, definitely.
Ah, here they
Here
come.
they
Dun,
come.
dun, dun. Beautiful faces.
Oh, hi, Jennifer and Erica.
Hi, and welcome back. So I'm really curious, what in particular surprised you? Um, or what insights might you be having about your message? It could either be about what you heard in your own message or what was reflected by the person who was listening to you. Who would love to share?
I'll go. Hi, Steph.
Hi,
See you
Anastasia.
again. Hmm. It was interesting to notice that both of us, I was in the team of Sharon, and both of us brought in people not from our job, but from our personal life. It was interesting to see this. It was a huge direction because we were supposed to, well, we came to this meeting as practitioners and thinking about job, but then when we were asked who we want to help and who's that person for both of us, someone from our family came up.
Mm,
Yeah, that makes a big difference for me in how I see my job and my life. And then one thing that Sharon told me right before we get out, she said, "You already doing that with this person in my house," because I thought that I wasn't doing it in the way I shared with her, but she said, "You are already being that person in that situation that is sharing." And this revealed for me that I'm already creating these spaces where people come as they are, and I'm able to mirror back to them the beauty they have inside and allow them to be who they are until they're getting to their next level of consciousness, where they see for themselves the next step to go forward without me teaching or pushing them to make that step.
mm. That's such a beautiful thing to see, Anastasia. Wow. And it isn't different, you know, like the wish on your heart for someone you love. I'm guessing that if you had that person in front of you who's a client, it's probably going to be a similar wish for them, you know? And to see that that's how powerful that is, especially if you can see it reflected back for you or notice it when you're listening to someone else. That's beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for sharing. And I saw, Louise, that you had your hand.
Yeah, we had a similar experience actually because we all were talking about our parents. So yeah, how frustrated we get with them. And it's really interesting that you know, we're kind of seeing that yeah, like you're saying about the reflecting back. We might be frustrated that they can't see what we can see, three principles wise, but actually they maybe have their own type of reflection, and we can't do for people. They have to see it themselves, don't they?
Yeah. And so thank you, Louise, for sharing. It's really beautiful to just have a little space with what's alive in you and what you're seeing, and having somebody there in a safe space just to listen and practice it a bit. I'm curious if anyone noticed what it was like to listen to someone speaking from their heart. What was that like for you? I actually had a chance to do that myself because I asked Mama J while we were chatting, and you were in the breakout rooms. And it's just really cool to see what comes alive, what feels like, what's happening. The energy of, well, Mama J in particular is very like sparky and excited and just like, ooh, she's up to something. Anyone have anything else to add? Okay. So, where do we go from here? Because we're ending right at the hour. All right. We might come back to this, but I'll share a little bit more. So one of the things that I'd like to share with you is a little bit of how to take this. So it's a little bit of structure, but I want to reassure you that when you come from your heart, it really transcends everything. I feel like I want to tell your example now, Mama J, that you were just sharing a little bit about what happened when you were talking. Would you do that? You can share it from you. Yeah. When you were talking about your business in the beginning and what you were up to.
Yeah.
The way people responded.
Oh, well, many of these people probably know this, but so when I will say first of all that I closed another business that was my heart business, which was a social enterprise with working with people in prison, and I was really heartbroken, and I didn't know what to do next. And when the next thing came alive in me, I wanted to tell everybody. And I would just be calling people up and saying, oh, I'm doing this thing and I'm going to activate everyone in the world and I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. I was so excited and I still am. I still am. I still absolutely love it. And I knew nothing about sales and I knew nothing about how I was going to get anyone to come to this thing. But what happened was I just told people because I was in love. It's like going, I'm in love, I can't believe it. And two people said, here's some money to get you started. And actually, I got £10,000 of donations just from sharing what was in my heart. They felt it and they went, have some money. That was not the reason why I was speaking to them. I was like, okay. And to add to that, people started booking calls in my diary, and people started understanding what I was saying to them, and making referrals. And all of a sudden, this whole thing opened up where suddenly I could be heard about what I was doing, unlike a lot of other things that I've tried in the past and even been successful at. I know that I haven't been heard in the same way.
Hmm. Yeah, thank you for sharing that. And even if you've heard Mama J say this before, I think it's worth listening to again. And don't say that she's different, please, because your heart is strong and clear, just like hers. And the only thing that ever gets in the way is, the noise in your head that says you shouldn't, you're not allowed, whatever the variation is in your head, right? That's the only thing. It's already there. You're already a beacon. You're already a light. There's really nothing dimming it other than what takes your attention away. And that's falling away just by you showing up for something like this. I know that. So I want to remind you, that's all. So with that, something that can really help when you're creating something from your heart. I know for me, this has been a little tricky sometimes and now I want to put an offer in there. Like, how's that going to work? I'm like, because what? It's not because there's anything inherently icky about an offer. It's because I have thinking that feels icky about it. And so then I get all weird. So one of the things that has really helped me is a daily email practice. There is a gentleman called John Bayakovich, and he sells a product called the Daily Email Habit. It does what it says. And basically, there's a prompt every day that I started writing to. And he gives suggestions for, like, every prompt actually is designed to set things up to either entertain, educate, and offer people something relevant to what you do. And so I started getting into the habit of every day I'm writing something that actually is inspired, that is from my heart, and also making an offer with most of them. And it really taught me very quickly that, for one, I didn't spontaneously combust from doing it. I didn't have like all my email list subscribers unsubscribing. It did so many beautiful things for me, but one of the most was just teaching me it's okay to make an invitation and you don't have to be a jerk about it. And I wasn't, and I'm not. And if somebody doesn't like it, it's totally okay for them to tune out. I want them to. It's not resonating. So it's kind of shifting from this idea of how do I get them to buy or how do I get them to hire me to how do I help the right people recognize whether this is for them. So that's about clarity, and that is about clarity in the relevance of your message and the clarity of your offer. So I can give you a couple of examples of how I've done that. We have a little bit of time. I will share my screen. And hopefully this will work well. Not that screen, but this one. Okay. Here are my examples. Okay, can you see my screen okay? All right. So this is actually an example of an email. So I wrote something about heartfelt messaging because I was talking about this heartfelt messaging masterclass. So in my email, I'm writing about, I think there was one that was the three steps to something or other. I can't remember now, but it was a message that was actually content around this. And then I kind of go from this. So your heartfelt message isn't something you invent. It's something you uncover. It's the truth you've seen, the insight you've lived, the gift you want to give, and people can feel the difference. And then tomorrow, I'm leading a free masterclass for people who are afraid, and then here we go. It's just like this. And this is what it is. So you can see, are you interested or not? Very simple. And here's the link to join. And then this one is an example from a Facebook post. This is actually years ago, back when I used to be on Facebook. And I was talking about something, again, content that was relevant. and then bridging it with, this is exactly what I do in my 4-week program for experienced coaches, healers, and spiritual entrepreneurs with a service-based business. So you'll craft an irresistible offer and create clients by sharing transformational content that's so inspiring you can't not spread it. If you're interested, DM me for more details. So this is like a tiny little bit of what the whole post was. So the key in both of these that really helps people is that it's specific, it's related to the content, it's bridged to the offer, and it is specific. So it's not, if this moves you, call me. Like we'll have a free discovery call, which is fine. It's better to have that than not having something. But making it specific helps people know faster if they're a yes or a no for it. So that's kind of the piece that I wanted to share, that it's really that simple, and you start to get a feel for it yourself. And I have put together a document that has 3 different templates that I'm happy to share with you. And I think I have that. I don't want to share it just now, but I'll do it at the end so we don't get distracted. So you can actually look at some examples and maybe play with that yourself, how you can take a message from your heart and connect it with an invitation. But it's really quite simple. And the only thing that gets in the way is probably what you're thinking about it.
Beautiful. So beautiful. Thank you so much for your generosity, being here and sharing this with everybody. I'd love to know what your biggest takeaways are.
Me too, please.
Share on screen or in the chat if you want to. Wendy.
I'll share.
Jennifer.
And I missed the first few minutes. I apologize. I was at a doctor's appointment, but so I'll have to listen to the recording. But what my biggest takeaway is, and what I feel every time, Stephanie, and I don't know that we haven't done any official classes together, but I listen to you all the time and see you virtually, is how you just can't go wrong when you're sharing, when you're coming from that authentic heart. Like, I always I don't know what to say, finding the words, and I really am clear more and more every day, and this drove it home today, is that when you're coming from your heart and that love and that deep love, you just can't be wrong. You can't mess it up. You can't mess it up. I mean, things may not go the way you want, but you really can't mess this up.
Yeah. That's gorgeous to see. And I'll even double down on that, Jennifer. Like, you can't mess it up when you come from the heart, and you can't mess it up if you don't. Like, we can't mess it up. We're so resilient. Life is so kind that it's going to be okay. And it just sets us free to go ahead and try and get into the dance, play the game, and know that you're going to be all right. You're going to find your way. You just got to stay in it. So, wow, thank you for sharing, Jennifer.
Thank you.
Yeah,
And
sorry, yeah. Oh, sorry, carry on.
Oh, no, go ahead, Wendy.
Sorry, I thought Jennifer wanted to say something. No, it's what I've seen is the huge value in my personal message or in our personal message, the huge value in that, and to acknowledge that when it comes from our heart, because it's something I don't acknowledge at times. And and that's being honest. But yeah, the value in my personal message or our individual who we are, that comes from us. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, it's felt and appreciated. It's nice to just have it's nice to have someone who can reflect it for you in a non-sales situation. It's kind of lovely. And Joy had said in the chat how impactful messages from the heart are. I think they really are. We can tell, you can feel it. What other takeaways, or what are you taking forward? Let's see. Erica says, do you want to read it, Mama J?
Yeah, lovely, Erica. Lovely Erica says, my takeaway is to just start sharing from the heart and ignore the noise in my head, even if it reverberates throughout my whole body. Yes. Yes. Me
Yeah.
too. Yes, Erica.
We're going to be okay. We're meant to feel the feels. We're built for it.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Yeah.
go ahead. Go ahead.
And Felix says this call confirms my hope/belief that it is possible to generate income with my dream and that it can be easy and does not necessarily require work and hundreds of social media videos, etc. Yes. Yes to that. Yeah, brilliant, Felix. I'm pleased.
You know what I love most about that is that I didn't say that. Did Mama J say that?
Exactly.
Neither one of us said those words, but that's what Felix felt. That's what because you were listening to yourself. And that's what happens when you speak from the heart, is that people start to listen to their own heart. And that's where the magic is. It's not in my words, it's in you. And the same thing was happening when you were speaking to the heart, from the heart, with the person you're with. I wasn't in the rooms with you, but I know how it works. That when you speak the wish of your heart, people feel it. And if they choose, they start to look inside themselves. And that's why it's impactful. And that's why it moves people. And it's the most powerful thing, more powerful than any strategy we could implement. And yet, the strategy will help you to reach more people. The structure will help you. So I'm going to share that in the resource document I put together for you. It's a Google document. You can have it. You can make a copy of it yourself if you'd like to have your own for your own purposes. But it's got a little bit more about the different examples that you can use for how that could look, and also some links if you would like to play with me. You can jump on my email list. I am writing daily emails. I'm calling it the Daily Dragon is what's coming next. And sometimes they're about business, sometimes they're personal, sometimes it's about my spiritual journey, sometimes I tell stories that are fictional, really whatever's on my heart. Yeah, Sharon says I'm often surprised by what comes out of my mouth when I speak from the heart in a good way. Yeah, me too. Me too. And there's also an invitation there if you'd like to book a DragonHeart portal session with me. It's a conversation about what you really want and what's on offer for you with life. And one of my favorite conversations to have ever. So if either of those appeal to you, I'd be happy to hear from you. I have one other little gift too, Mama J. Go ahead. But I have a little present. I think we can do it. But go ahead and say what you're going to say.
All I wanted to say is please everyone watch the end of this video again, because see how Steph demonstrated what she's been talking about. She delivered a beautiful heartfelt workshop. And then she just, it from her heart, offered that you can work with her. It didn't feel icky. It didn't feel nasty. It didn't feel, jarring. It felt perfectly in alignment with what she's been saying. And that's what we're inviting you to recognize within yourself, is that you speak from the heart and then you offer from the heart. It's the same thing. And then people make their decision about whether they want to do that or not. Go ahead.
Okay, I think I have to do this differently. I thought I had it, and then I went, wait, no, what's going on? Will it work? I didn't test this. Oh no, this is what happens. Let's see if it works.
I'll put the link to the Google Doc in the replay as well
great.
for everybody.
Great. Will it work? Yes, okay, it's working. Good.
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to put this link into the chat. This will take you to a Canva page. So this is my Dragon Oracle. So if you click through, and you can do this now or you can do this later, you click through, you'll see there are a bunch of images. So click on the image that you're drawn to, and it will take you to a special message just for you.
Nice. That's so cute.
Oh, I had way too much fun and probably spent way too much time creating it. But I'll tell you, when I allow myself to follow my heart and follow that inspiration, cool things happen. The energy is so creative.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. We have to rush off to the Q&A. So thank you to everybody, and see some of you on the Q&A. Thank you. Bye, bye, bye.
Thank you.